Today, we're doing something a little different. We are literally transforming your very own house into a functioning psychology laboratory. We're going to explore exactly how this incredible, complicated human mind of ours works, and you get to be the lead researcher. Psychology isn't just some boring subject trapped in thick textbooks or, distant university lecture halls. It's the fundamental science of us. It completely dictates how we learn, how we interact with our friends, and how we perceive the world every single day. And honestly, by understanding it, you kind of gain a superpower to navigate your own life.
So let me ask you, does listening to your favorite song actually make you smarter? It's a pretty relatable question, right? I mean, have you ever wondered why you can remember some things perfectly but completely blank on others? Or why certain music gets you totally locked in while other tracks just derail your entire train of thought? Or maybe you've noticed how just changing the temperature in a room can totally flip your mood. Well, these are the everyday mysteries of the human mind that we are going to solve today.
Okay, let's dive into this by defining our core tool. So what is a psychology experiment? Basically, it's a special kind of test or activity researchers use to learn more about how our minds work and why we behave the way we do. Think of it kind of like a giant detective game. If human behavior is the mystery, then the methodology, that's the magnifying glass you use to uncover the clues about our thoughts and actions. Today, I'm giving you the exact methodology to run simple, highly effective experiments right in your living room. And the best part, you don't need fancy gear. A stopwatch, a spreadsheet, and a whole lot of curiosity is the whole shebang. Here is the syllabus for our home lab today. 1. Welcome to the lab. 2. The golden rules of ethics. 3. Testing, memory, and learning. 4. Experimenting with social behavior. And 5. Environment and your brain. Section 2. The golden rules of ethics, setting the standards. Before we jump into the fun stuff, we have to lay down some ground rules. Ethical experimentation is absolutely crucial. It's the backbone of good science. It's super vital to understand the framework the pros use. History gives us a pretty clear picture of what happens without rules. Take the 1936 monster study, for example, a deeply harmful experiment where children who stuttered were put under intense psychological pressure, all in the name of science. Yikes, right? Because of massive missteps like that, modern researchers have to strictly follow these 5 ethical pillars. You've got to ensure respect for individuals through informed consent. In your home lab, that just means writing up a quick slip of paper so your parents or siblings know exactly what they're getting into. You also need honesty in reporting, a safety-first mindset, a plan for considering long-term effects, and for sure, a deep respect for the rights of animals.
So, if you take nothing else away from this section, remember this golden rule. Treat every participant, human or animal, as you'd wish to be treated. It absolutely guarantees the ethical integrity of your work. Keep this front and center when you start recruiting your family as test subjects. Look, no matter how annoying your younger sibling might be, science demands you treat them with total respect. Section 3. Testing memory and learning. Decoding the brain. Let's move into our first actual category of experiments and see how we map out the way our brains absorb, store, and recall stuff.
All right, here's a really fantastic first experiment for you to try. To test comprehension, divide your friends into 2 groups. Have Group A handwrite their notes on a quick 5-minute educational video. Then have Group B type their notes on a laptop. Now wait exactly 20 minutes to let that information settle in their brains and hit them both with the exact same 10-question quiz. Studies consistently show that writing by hand creates a higher cognitive load. Because you physically can't write as fast as you type, it actually forces your brain to summarize and encode that info way deeper into your memory. Run this test yourself, grade the quizzes, and see if that cognitive encoding holds true for your own study group.
And what about the famous Mozart effect? Does classical music literally make your brain work better? Well, here's a clear, repeatable recipe to test it. Step 1. Prep a list of 15 random vocabulary words. Have your subject memorize that list in complete silence for 2 minutes. Then, hand them a brand new list of 15 different words, but this time, blast some music. Compare the recall results. You can actually get really creative here with your independent variables. Try Mozart, then try some heavy metal, maybe even a conversational podcast. Do nature sounds actually boost brain power, or are they just a massive distraction? Set it up, and you're gonna find out. You can dig even deeper into learning by testing memory consolidation. Find 2 willing friends and give them a complex poem to memorize. Have one of them hit the hay at a totally reasonable 9 p.m. The other, have them stay up gaming until 2 a.m. The next morning, give them both a strict accuracy test. You're almost certainly going to prove what scientists already know. Deep sleep is when the brain actually sorts and stores info, shifting it from short-term to long-term memory.
It's a bulletproof way to use real data to show your classmates why pulling an all-nighter before a big test is just a terrible, terrible idea.
Section 4. Experimenting with social behavior, the power of the group. Moving right along, let's look at how we act around other people. What's super fascinating here is just how deeply society and other people influence the choices we make. Inspired by the classic Asch experiments, this setup lets you watch groupthink happen in real time. The methodology here is absolutely everything. Only one person is the real subject. Everyone else, they're actors in on the trick. You show the group lines of different lengths and ask which ones match. Make sure your actors know exactly which obviously wrong line to pick so they don't break character. Just imagine the tension your real subject feels when 6 people confidently give the completely wrong answer right in front of them. Will your subject cave and conform just to fit in? It is a mind-blowing demonstration of peer pressure, right at your kitchen table.
15 minutes. That is the exact amount of time children had to wait in Walter Mischel's iconic 1960s marshmallow test. This is a legendary social experiment that linked the ability to delay gratification with long-term success in life. Kids were left alone with one single marshmallow. The deal was wait 15 minutes without eating it and you get 2. This is such a brilliant, easy methodology to replicate with a little sibling to test their self-control. Put a marshmallow on a plate, set a 15-minute timer on your phone, walk out and just peek through the crack in the door. It's hilarious. Do they stare at it? Do they sniff it? Take notes on their coping mechanisms.
Next up, by comparing behavior in a mirrored room versus a completely blank room, you can test this concept called objective self-awareness. Basically, do reflections make people highly self-conscious or more self-compassionate? Try this at home. Give your subjects a really frustrating, difficult puzzle to solve in both environments. Observe if the mirror makes them throw in the towel faster, because seeing their own struggle heightens their self-criticism. It actually makes so much sense of why clothing stores use specific lighting, or why gyms are literally walled with mirrors. Our environment drastically shifts how we perceive ourselves and how much we can endure.
Section 5. Environment and your brain. External influences. For our final chapter today, we're going to explore how stuff in your immediate surroundings subconsciously messes with your thoughts and your productivity. 70 to 73 degrees Fahrenheit. By timing people doing tasks in a chilly room versus a warm one, researchers discovered that this specific temperature range is the Goldilocks zone, the just right spot for peak human productivity. And there's a totally logical biological reason for it. When you're cold, your body burns physical energy just trying to shiver and stay warm, literally stealing processing power from your brain. But if it's too hot, lethargy kicks in and your mind just wanders. Set up an experiment timing your friends doing a 100-piece puzzle at different thermostat settings to prove this biological sweet spot for yourself. Okay, this next one elegantly shows that true science often requires a ton of patience and meticulous record keeping. You can easily set up this month-long observational study to see if living organisms actually react to the vibrations and intent of human voices. Take 3 identical plants and treat them entirely differently. Plant A gets daily, glowing praise. Plant B gets harsh negativity. Plant C, absolute silence. It's an amazing long-term study for your windowsill. Just remember the methodology, snap a photo every 3 days, measure them with a ruler, and keep a super detailed log. Which brings us to the age-old question, does money actually buy happiness? Well, if you research this, you'll run into the happiness plateau. Psychologists found that once your basic needs are met, which hovers around an income threshold of $75,000, extra money usually stops buying extra daily joy. It's a pretty profound realization that relationships and experiences often outweigh just stacking cash. For your lab, you could create anonymous surveys for your teachers or extended family to gather honest data without making it awkward, and then plot their self-reported happiness against general income brackets. So, to wrap up this explainer, I want you to take a look around your house. Think about these scientific methodologies and ask yourself, what everyday mystery are you going to solve today? Whether you're testing the cognitive load of handwriting, the memory-boosting power of sleep, the intense peer pressure of the Asch conformity test, or just finding the absolute best temperature for your room, you now have the exact tools you need to uncover the secrets of the human mind. So grab a notebook, set up your lab, and let the experiments begin. Because honestly, the greatest mystery in the universe isn't out there in the stars. It's sitting right inside your own head. So what will you discover?